abatement of public uses.
Email. He updated us on, there's only 2 properties now that have not complied.
All right. Is anybody here on that, on the public hearing? It's,
Let me read you the
no, I won't read that address. But it's property on Henry Ellen Road and property on France Street. Anybody here for those? All right. Okay. All right. Item 7B, Resolution 2011-0604 relating to weed nuisance abatement. Okay, you see in your packet, you got something from Jonathan on that too. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties on that. Elizabeth Street, Bryan Drive, Hittman Street. Oh, wait, that's wrong. Sorry about that. No, no, no. Wait a minute. No, this is in one back. Okay, is anybody here on the weed nuisance abatement? Here. Okay.
This
You
is
got
the same
two of them
thing.
on Elizabeth Street on each page. It was,
Is that,
All right, it's Elizabeth, Bryan, Hittman, Henry Ellen, and Poplar. These are different ones.
7501 is now in compliance. 1612 is now in compliance.
Yeah, it's the same list.
Oh, I know what it is. Okay. We have to vote. What's the other one?
But Francis
No,
Street,
I got it. Nobody was here for the hearing, so now we vote.
what I'm trying to
let me
tell
ask you this.
Francis
Yeah.
Street's not
Is-
on the list.
yeah, is the 7501 Henry Allen and 7501 Poplar, is that the same?
No,
I mean, they didn't transpose that number when they typed it, did they?
No,
this is the update. Poplar's complied.
no, there's
Pittman's complied.
All
And
right.
there's one more that's complied, but he didn't put the address. Do you know what that address should have been?
Slide.
I know, but do you understand what I'm saying? He only addresses 4 of the properties on his email. There are 5 on the list. Yeah.
He said there's only 2 in not compliance, so he called it the other 2.
Francis is on the list. France, you can't go after France, he's not on the list, never made a list.
That's what I
It's
want.
Elizabeth, Bryan, and Henry Ellen. Or there's 3 of them that are.
Okay, but on his thing,
Yeah.
he's saying there's only 2 that are in non-compliance now. You see what I'm,
I see, I don't know where he's pulling his information from, but this goes back from the meeting two meetings ago.
that's
This
what I'm
original
asking.
list. It's the same list.
Okay. So we're saying
Pittman and Poplar,
7501 is in compliance, and 71612 are in
yes, those 2 on that list.
compliance.
He's updated those. The others, I don't know anything
Not in
about.
compliance, okay. The other 3 are not in compliance, except 1, 2, 3.
Four. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, and 4, one of them.
Well, that's not even on the list either.
I wouldn't worry about that one.
Okay, all right.
Because they
Hasn't
haven't
been noticed.
properly noticed.
We gotta have one of the 2 here. I mean,
Will we vote on the
We'll
3
put this
that,
off to next time, till we get this thing squared up.
or we vote on the 3 that we know are,
Well, I mean,
can we put it off for 2 weeks?
can we put it off 2 weeks?
They've had the public
You have
hearing.
a public hearing, you can put the vote on.
We just put the vote off. Let's do
okay,
that.
I make a motion that we table
The vote.
resolution, which is the 2011-0501 till our 1st July meeting.
Second.
Susan, I think it's 0604. That was the
Oh, okay, 0604 is the new number. Okay, resolution 0604, 2011-0604.
All right, all those in favor of tabling it for 2 weeks, take a vote on it, after we get some clarification, say aye. Aye. Aye.
Yeah, I was reading the old number off the previous thing.
All right, item C, resolution 2011-0605 relating to petition for a tax refund. And, we have, been apprised by the, auditors and the, city attorneys that, this is due to be paid. They sent us an itemized list of what, they had inadvertently paid, and it says $226.28. And so,
Okay,
whatever y'all wanna
make
do.
a motion that we, approve resolution 2011-0605.
Do I hear a second?
Johnny did.
John seconded. Do I have any discussion? All right, all those in favor of 2011-0605, say aye. All opposed, say no. All right, resolution 2011-0606 relating to a petition for a tax refund. Another one, the Shelby County Property Tax Commissioner has made tax payments to the city in error. And on completion of the final settlement reports, feel that, they submitted a refund request for $225.35. The auditors and the city attorneys recommended that this is due to be paid back.
Make a motion. Right.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. Okay. All right. Resolution 2011-0607. This has to do with the Veterans Memorial maintenance of markers and the Veterans Memorials in both city parks. As you know, this is kept up very well in the city. It's done by independent people. The city doesn't do the work, and something we can be proud of. And so we've written up something to read about it. The VFW Post 6440 has dissolved, and they were the people who maintained the Leeds Veteran Memorial, and they would like for it to be passed to the American Legion Post 107. And there's a copy of a resolution between the two, agreeing to pass from the VFW to the American Legion Post 107, and I'd like to read that. Is there anybody here from the VFW? Y'all have done an excellent job. We appreciate all y'all have done and for the service y'all have done to the city and your country. You know that. We think y'all have done a good job. Got to introduce yourself?
We would like to continue with it, but circumstances beyond our control due to the death of our commander
Yes.
and the age of our members, we just no longer can physically handle it.
Well, I think y'all been doing that job for quite a while, and y'all have done an excellent job with it. It's something that I see a lot of people out looking at, and you know, I think it's an excellent memorial. Y'all kept it up very well, and I think y'all should be given a hand for that. I appreciate it. I'm going to read the resolution. The City of Leeds desires that its Veterans Memorial located in Moore Park and Historical Park to be properly maintained, managed, and operated. And whereas the services are provided in the city at no cost, which include but not limited to the flying and proper removal of the American flag and the collection, installation, and maintenance of markers in the Veterans Memorial of both parks. And we acknowledge that the members of VFW Post 6440 have done such tasks with the passage of Resolution 2008-0702 dated July 7, 2008, and the VFW notified the city with a submittal of corporate resolution dated May 17, 2011, they're dissolving. The city is gracious for the dedication, service, and hard work provided by the VFW in maintaining and honoring our fallen deceased heroes who honorably served this nation in the city of Leeds. The city recognizes the valuable benefit of this service and wishes to give it the most heartfelt thanks to the VFW. And whereas the city respectfully recognizes the VFW's transfer of all duties to their brothers in arms and services to the American Legion Post 107 as their assigned entity of services for the Veterans Memorial, the city's Memorial Park and Historical Park. And we want to resolve that we hereby incorporate the foregoing recitals as copied here and in full, which recitals are an integral part of the resolution. And it authorizes me to negotiate the transfer. We thank y'all for what y'all done, and we appreciate what y'all done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve.
Do I hear a motion to approve? Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor of approving resolution, 2011-06-07, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Okay. All right. We're gonna have to get some other people to help me on this one. Okay, we've got a resolution authorizing application for a city credit card. We've had some trouble in the past when we've sent our police department, our police chief, different people, that needed access to funds that day, that particular day, to be able to get those funds. Okay, y'all wanna explain further?
Usually the chief's had, now we've had some change of personnel. Trying to update the card is a little bit of a challenge. Because the information that they have is outdated and those entities and folks aren't available.
Right.
So we went searching for another avenue.
Right, and just to add, I won't want to say any names, but somebody that's no longer with the city is actually the one standing good for our debt.
Yes.
And we don't think it's fair to them to make them stand good for any debts that we incur. And they actually signed the application. And we know that, we've had trouble when we've sent the police to something major, like we had the homicide at the time that the police department had to go to California. They had a $1,000 limit. They needed to go right then. They had to come to council. We're trying to avoid that if we can. There will be a limit on each card. There will be a review of those cards, and I don't have one. I'm not getting one, so none of us, nobody up here is getting one. But it'd be like the police chief, maybe fire chief, probably park and rec director will have something, because like he needs to go out in the middle of the night, not the middle of the night, like 7 o'clock, get a chainsaw, clear a road or something. He can't even do that, so we need to have something like this. And that's what this is about. And we've got an excellent deal from Service First to a credit card program that's going to be it's a debit type deal. There's limitations that can be put on all these cards. And all we can increase or lower that limitation in emergencies. Right. So that's what the resolution's about.
Okay, these applications are just duplicates.
Yes.
Okay, all right. It's got two different companies.
All right, y'all have any questions for them about that?
How many cards you looking at?
I don't know.
Most.
Probably.
Just one for each department?
How many cards that we're looking at? Kevin knows about the problems we've encountered because of, about 5 or 6.
What kind of amount you want to get on them?
Well, it'd be variable because like usually,
Well,
I'm sorry.
I know probably, and I would just, being in this line of work, police chief would probably need a little more because, at any time, he might have to send 2 guys to California, for 3 or 4 days. So, it needs to be staggered, but he should have control of it in his.
That's right.
Be able to raise and lower it too.
Right, it's a debit card,
Okay.
and
You'd be able to log into an account and say, if he's going on a trip, you can raise the limit up.
Okay.
but where we run into problems, or I've been told we run into problems, is like in the, like they have, like you're talking about, go after 5 or something we come and vote,
I'm not sure.
As an
A
emergency.
policeman ain't got the money to go on the trip.
right? And the fire chief the same way, Supervisor Keating, he had definitely, you know, was trying to clear streets and stuff like that. It's definitely a problem for him. He's always got to be coming and getting approved on things like that. So we're just looking in, plus we need to try to get it where it's not on the back of somebody that doesn't have anything to do with the city anymore too. Kind of that.
Right, keep in mind, the other rules still are in play, travel and all that, they go through normal travel requests and everything else. Emergency is an emergency. So it's nothing changes, it's just, it's a different financial vehicle for the city.
If they have the time, they would go through the normal process.
That is
Oh,
correct.
absolutely.
Okay.
And the second resolution that I somewhere put into this is amending our handbook, putting a formal policy in play that we don't have currently.
Right. Yeah. You need to explain anything more, Kerry?
Nope.
Okay, yeah, and you know, if we had something that we knew emergency, was gonna go over, like if they had $1,000 limit, we could call up and say, we need you to raise it to 2,500, stuff like that.
I think what Kevin's saying though is we have another resolution about the handbook that we need to add to the agenda.
Okay.
That's a big package.
It's a big thing.
Okay. All right,
Let's approve this one and we'll
Okay.
add the next one.
all right, Ross, Councilman Barty made a promotion to approve, I hear a second. All right, Councilman Kyle, seconded, any more discussion? All those in favor of, resolution 2011-0608, say aye. All opposed, say no. Passes 4-0. All right, let's see, we've got another one added because it needs to go in the employee handbook. And, because it has to do with, does it have to do with the use or misuse of it?
Both.
Both. It has to do with the use and misuse of it in our employees.
We added, items
Got the
L
synopsis.
on the agenda. N on the agenda.
Yeah, if you want to. You make a motion to add 2011-06.
Oh, no, yeah, I'll make a motion to add resolution 2011-0609, item N.
Okay, got here a second.
Sorry.
All right, all those in favor of adding 2011-0609, dealing with employee handbook, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, item G. Authorize award of storm debris cleanup monitoring bid. And, I think, Mr. Coyne might want to tell us about this, about how it's separate. And also I want to make a comment about something he's done for 20 years. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you guys remember, I think it was last meeting, you guys approved to add the stump and hanging limb removal, adding that onto the existing railroad contract we have. The amount of crews that they're gonna bring in to do that, we just don't have the people to monitor each crew that's gonna come in to do the cleanup. And according to FEMA, you have to have a monitor with each contractor, each crew to make sure that they're doing it right. So we bid out, to have monitors come in and help the city monitor the FEMA contractors. So I handed out a bid tabulation of who responded. True North Emergency Management and Thompson Consulting both bid. And we did a little calculation based on the need that we're gonna have, and True North came in as the lowest responsible bidder.
All right, okay, and before, we, vote on that, I want to, yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the awarding of the storm debris cleanup monitoring bid to True North Emergency Management.
We have a second.
Second.
All right, any discussion, and the man's here tonight, if you need to ask him anything. something, about David. I don't wanna say anything negative about FEMA, because they've been really cooperative and they've really tried to work with the city. They came in and, if there was any kind of a dispute or any kind of a negative, problems or anything, they came and talked about them, tried to help us. The EMA, Alabama EMAs came in. They've stayed in close contact with us, but as you know, because of the tornado, this is a moving target, and we find out on the last day that that we can get it changed, that we were actually on the hook for 12.5% of the cost of the cleanup, because Leeds was left out of the main tornado disaster area. We were in a secondary area. So David finds out about it at like 8 o'clock in the morning, spends almost all day on the phone with them, and before the day's over and the time limits ran out, he's got them to change it to where we're in the disaster area, and he got us to where we only have to pay 5%. I think that was a great job, and he worked real hard on that. I think we ought to all be real thankful to him, because 7.5% on a contract this big is a lot of money. So he's done a good job. I appreciate that. Thanks. And they worked very well with him to do that. So, I appreciate the time you put in on it, David. All right. All right. Do y'all want to? Okay, let's see. Yeah, we voted 4-0. All right. Item 8. Authorize the mayor to execute change order to relating to storm damage removal contract extension. 30-day ran out on this, and so we have to do an extension. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, the original contract ran out on Sunday, and so we just got to do an extension of 30 days to get it done. I think that we'll be able to get it done. We're trying to get done by the end of this month, maybe run a day or two into July, but we won't use the whole 30 days, but we need, that's where we're at.
All right. So we just have to have that so we can continue to finish up this last pass and the stump removal and all that. Okay. Do I hear a motion on that?
Move that we approve a 30-day extension on our existing contract with, Veterans.
Veterans Landscaping.
With Veterans Landscaping.
All right. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right. Discussion?
Yeah, Mayor,
Yes.
I was absent last council meeting. Boy, I mean, I forget, I vaguely remember something about we did a change orders at that time for this company and gave them $20,000 more.
Is that right? Yeah. That's they had to,
That was for the stump, to remove stumps, leaning trees, or hanging
Isn't
limbs.
that what they was paid $120,000 for?
No, that was just for pickup.
on FEMA, they're different contracts. They get
There's
paid
a
like,
totally different process for picking up stumps and trees, like
Yeah.
trees that have been damaged and
So
limbs that are hanging
they
down.
came back and said, after they did the 120, they
right.
came back and said, oh, we'll get the trees that's leaning?
Well, here,
Or
no,
was that, I mean,
I can.
how does
explain
that work? Is that not going to bid either?
I can explain that.
We use
Okay.
Let me do it. Under the FEMA rules, because I've had to be in school on all this. Under the FEMA rules, they get paid like $3 a cubic yard for picking up this roadside debris, cleaning up, yard garbage and all that. They get paid, and I'm just throwing this number out there, they get paid like $15 a cubic yard for stumps. They have to get them up, they're so big, sometimes have to grind them. And so they have to be treated a different way because there's more work done. So the FEMA people and the EMA people make you bid those as separate contracts because they don't get paid the same way, and they have to do them at different times. See, like I've been getting some complaints because there's around town you see these stumps that are kicked up sideways and they're still left, and people going, why ain't they got those stumps up? They have to come back through and do them in a whole separate pass.
We have to actually bid it though, because Jefferson County bid out that project for veterans agreed to use those numbers.
Use those
That's why we
same
didn't actually have to, that's why we didn't actually have to physically bid it ourselves.
Normally you have to do a whole separate contract.
And
we still get a portion of that back as well.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
it's all possible the same.
but it would have been 12.5%, but now it's
The reason
5.
we had to bid the monitor route was because Jefferson County bid it, but they didn't accept the bid, so we weren't able to piggyback off that one, so we did it ourselves.
Right, and, but that's one of the things you got from 7.5 to 5. But that's why some stuff's left. Also, we had a discussion with them about some of the ways they were picking up, and it looked like some of the stuff they had done, were very attentive to in the beginning. It looked like they were kind of skipping. What had happened was the small truck kept breaking down, and they couldn't get it around on the big truck around some of the streets. So hopefully they've got that worked out now, because they had that big tandem truck. Nobody was skipped on purpose. They started out with 3 trucks, and for about a week and a half, they were down to 1. And that's what the issue was. But hopefully they're getting everybody now. And, but we said, y'all skipping these whole areas, and they said, well, we can't get our tandem truck around and our other trucks in the shop. And it's hard to get other trucks, because they're everywhere. They're farmed out to all these different areas, and keeping them going is tough on them. But, I think they're doing a good job, so hopefully people just be patient with them. All right. Did we,
We did it.
all right, all those in favor of authorizing, me to execute a change order relating to the storm damage removal contract extension for 30 more days, say aye. All those opposed, say no. All this storm's been fun, hasn't it?
Yep.
All righty. Okay, item I, authorize the mayor to execute memorandum of agreement with ALDOT regarding removal and disposal of debris and right-of-way. As you know, 119, 411, 78, all state highways. Those are, state right-of-ways. We can't do anything under this contract without them okaying a right of entry onto their right of way, and they've agreed to execute a memorandum of understanding that we can do that. So, and they're having to do that with every city, and that's what this is about.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. Okay. Item J, Fire Department Advisory regarding current drought status. Where are we at right now?
Well, the governor signed a drought condition declaration June the 7th. Of course, I don't have to tell you we're dry out here. It's hot, just like it is everywhere else. We recently had a couple of fires down around Grand River. Actually, the train going down set 3 different fires that burned basically from I-20 to Floyd Bradford Road. And then we had another fire on 119 where somebody apparently threw out a cigarette, and we were able to keep it from getting to the field, so we avoided that. But the state, since January, has had over 1,800 fires that's burned over 41,000 acres, and that's continuing to rise every day. One of the things is that resources are just limited. In fact, the fire down here, we had to wait on a crew. They sent 1 crew from Talladega County, and they sent one crew from Tuscaloosa. So, there's a lot of stuff to burn in that time. So, resources are kind of tight. There wasn't anything available in St. Clair County or Jefferson County or Shelby County to come help us. So, I know we had a lot of rain on Friday. And I checked the drought index for our area today, and it's at 652. Anything over 500, you're considered a high risk of fire damage. So we're just not getting enough rain. So basically, what I'm asking is, we faced these similar conditions back in 2007, and the mayor and council at that time adopted the ordinance dealing with fireworks that are coming up. You should have a copy of that ordinance in your packet. I'm just asking that you consider adopting that ordinance again and putting it into effect while we're under these conditions.
it states that until the drought emergency order issued by the Alabama Forestry Commission is lifted,
Okay.
the use of any fireworks is prohibited. Is that what we're looking to do this time?
Yeah.
Base it on a statewide emergency order?
Right. Forest Commission is also, I mean, they're starting to initiate that in their parks and stuff, banning fireworks because of the conditions. So, I mean, we're just trying to follow suit.
You know, what price ordinance on it and everything, I mean, you know, you can do it tonight, or if we can get it in Thursday, or before, you know, because I assure you, that's not gonna stop cheap fireworks, you know, it's gonna give you some muscle to take care of it, but, just hope a lot of rain comes.
Well, I guess one thing we can try to do is get it out on all the media circuits.
Get it early, and that's that.
Go ahead and do it tonight and get it out there and just step up our enforcement, because what a sparkler burns at, what, 2,500 degrees, 1,800 degrees?
Right now, it doesn't, I mean, just like the train the other day, set 3 separate fires, and I mean, we're talking just a small spark.
What is it in, you know, and I hadn't worked the street in probably 15 years. What is it, 200 feet from a dwelling?
Yeah.
That you shoot fireworks?
Yeah. So, and I mean,
That's very few places, unless it's open fields.
right.
Y'all think y'all can handle that okay, Chief?
We'll give it a try, but I'm gonna ask the media to push it out for us to put out the city.
We just need to know clearly what the restrictions are.
Well, if we voted in, it's gonna be, you can't shoot fireworks. It's only allowed for those couple of days anyway, and you just can't shoot them because of the drought. We just don't have the ability to fight these kind of fires. I mean, one thing I noticed, somebody went by, I'm not gonna say who, and sprayed the sides of the roads, and the edge of the roads are like tinder boxes. They're all so brown, it's unbelievable. I just can't, I mean, somebody throws something out, or, you know, a fire, I mean, in just a few minutes, it'll be out of control.
And the
It's gonna be a
thing
problem.
is, this is, I mean, these are issues statewide, so
Right.
the resources may not be available to help us. And I mean, we're gonna be limited. We're gonna do our best, but we can't protect everyone. And so,
You know, one problem we've got here is we're one of the few cities that allows you to shoot fireworks. Most of the cities around don't allow it, I think, as far as I know. I mean, there's a lot of them, you can sell them. There's some cities like, I think, Homewood, you can sell them, you can't shoot them. So, you know, I mean, but Leeds allows you to sell them and shoot them. So I think it's something, I said, for public safety, I think it's something we definitely gonna have to think about tonight. I think we need to do it, try to get the word out as fast as we can. All right. We do it under this resolution, or try to do it, or whatever we're doing.
I think we're gonna have to suspend the rules to consider anything and pass it tonight.
Okay.
Because it's a permanent nature.
Well, it's not permanent, it's just,
It's permanent until the drought's lifted. Is that what
It's
you're
an
saying?
ordinance, so
It's
it
an
is.
ordinance.
Ordinance of general application. And I think what we would do is revise base it on the 2007 ordinance, but take out any references to the drought order issued on June 9th, 2007.
What day did you say, Alan? It's what day?
the 7th is when it went into effect.
June the 7th, 2011. I mean,
The only other thing to consider, Mayor, is whether or not we wanted an ordinance in place that we didn't have to adopt every time there was an emergency order, that wasn't just tied into this particular declaration of emergency.
the only thing about it is if we don't bring it before the council and
how you gonna know about it?
and make it, you know, make it as public as possible, then a lot of people won't know about it. But the fact that we bring it here and getting out in the press, getting out in the public, and we'll probably have to get some signs, say fireworks banned, you know, during the drought. Put them up. I mean, we'll probably have to do that. I mean, that's all. So people say, well, I didn't know, you know.
How about just fireworks ban?
Yeah, it's,
That would get out very quick.
it's very hard on our police department during the Fourth because they get a lot of shots fired, calls,
Well, you
and
know,
piles them up.
most of the time in July, you're gonna be in a drought situation anyway. If you ban them, then you'll be okay around New Year's, cause it'll be wet. You get in the summer, you're gonna be like this probably every other summer or something, so if you ban them all together, then you just,
You're saying ban them and just allow them one time a year on New Year's?
No, you said ban them for good,
Ban them
whole
all?
year long.
Okay. Well, he brought up New Year's as well.
Yeah,
so-
well,
well, that's what I'm saying, because I assure you,
yeah.
when they were banning that 15 years in Alabama, me and everybody in Leeds shot fireworks, you know, in the band.
Yeah.
And the Georgia law.
It's nothing like we missed out on.
I do agree with you, and I think, I do think it's a public, safety issue. I would ask that, just because we do have a couple of businesses that are here, if we would just do it this way for now, and then consider for the future, look into it, consider for the future for a permanent ban, but for right now, ban it.
What if it's written like, I think Carrie's saying is that we activate it if there is a state
If the government.
drought thing, it becomes active, and we could still bring it up at the council meeting.
I could report if the governor or the forest commission or the fire marshal.
Yeah, like the last meeting in June, like tonight.
Does it provide for enforcement on this?
It does.
Okay, so people shoot them, they stop them, they might have some way to enforce it.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's
It'd
gonna
be
be another
permanent,
challenge.
and it would only be activated if there was a state drought.
Yeah, the chief will tell you this, about 9 out of 10 is gonna be 15 years old.
Or less.
And you're gonna have to sit down there if you care, City Hall, find their parents. They're gonna tie up 1 or 2 policemen.
Well, I'll tell you something that we might could do, if you think we can, is, where they're allowed to sell them in the city, there needs to be a sign that says they are banned due to the drought. I can't help it if it's gonna hurt them, but I think they should be willing to do it, because if not, their only other option is us to come back to the permanent ban on them. You know, I think that's another way we get the word out.
Well, obviously enforcement on this would, initial car on the scene would probably do a warning. Basically, you tell these people, hey, you need to stop tonight, or we're in this drought emergency, we want to burn the city down, that type of thing. And then if we have to go back, so the second time we're not going to do it, then we'd have to take action.
One problem we got though is, doesn't take much to start a fire. With these kind of fireworks we got now, we got so many, put out streams of sparks and things like that. And like I said, the worst one's a sparkler. Supposedly the one most kids play with, they burn the hottest and the longest. Get something on fire the fastest.
Can that plan be drafted, like he said, if you go out the first warning, and you tell the parents and the child or the teenager, you know, shoot them, then go back out again and hold the parents liable?
It is more about that.
I think it
It
is.
is?
There's a provision that talks about if the fireworks are,
It is. It's on
being
the
used on the
top
property.
of the second page.
Yeah.
But you can always go back and within the 200 feet of the structure, is that it?
Yeah.
And that also refers to houses. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look inside the city of Leeds, that's very few places 200 feet from the structure.
That's right.
Big grassy fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, which burn real well.
Yeah, I'm nervous about it myself this year. It's definitely, something that's, to be worried about.
It's something I think everybody ought to experience when you're a kid, teenager. I mean, I remember my daddy and everybody shooting fireworks years ago, and it's just something that kids, it's part of growing up, really, in Alabama.
We definitely got an emergency up here, though, no doubt about it. Water won't even stay on the ground out there, it's burning, could get out so fast. All right, how do we need to word this?
First we gotta go into session. I make a motion that we, suspend the rules to consider an ordinance banning fireworks during drought.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Barty?
Yes.
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 Kyle?
Yes.
Okay. All right, now, do I hear a motion concerning ordinance number 2007-0701 with changes pertaining to the date of the state fire drought restriction? What, July, would you say? What was the
June
date?
7th.
June the 7th? I mean, that's what I meant, June the 7th, 2011. All right, and not to be lifted.
Well, I guess you just do it today's day, June 2011.
Well, the way this is worded, if you want to use the same language, it says until the drought emergency order issued on, and we would put June 7th, 2011, by the Alabama Forestry Commission is lifted.
Right.
The use of fireworks, blah, 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 shall be prohibited.
Right. That's what I meant. Okay, do I hear a motion on that?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Start.
Kyle, second, all right. Starting on the right, Mr. Barty. Yes.
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 All right. As of now, fireworks and shooting of fireworks are banned in Leeds until further notice. What? Thank you, Chief Pierce. All right.
Mayor, can we ask the press to go ahead and get that out as soon as we possibly can?
If they would please. It's gonna be very,
We gotta return.
Have we got any extra money to buy signs?
yeah, we got some
Fire
of that.
department, I'm sure good chief out there on last city.
Oh, yeah.
We got a real good deal on signs going right now too. The people are doing it.
And you might get them, you know, being summer, you might get them put them on school
We
signs.
can put them up for the safety.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The one thing, there's a
Right.
So this new ordinance will activate every time there's a state drought order issued.
Until we discuss our.
Yeah, but I'm saying what we're passing tonight.
Mayor, can we get some clarification? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Sure.
We're just reading through this with more detail, the old ordinance. It says the use of the following fireworks shall be prohibited, and it limits it to aerial type rockets with sticks and any rockets or missiles with fins or rudders.
No. We
And just
just
based on
all fireworks.
Okay, I think we can just take that definition out and say the use of fireworks, because
Right.
included in the ordinance, it has a definition of fireworks, which links back to Article 2 of Chapter 10 of the code,
Yeah.
where I believe fireworks are defined much more broadly. I'm
Right.
hoping.
Well, you know the two things cause most fires are sparklers and smoke bombs.
I heard that somewhere.
Yep.
And neither of those would be included here, so do we need to
Right.
revise the motion, or,
Yeah, I think we do.
so we'll be amending this ordinance 0701 to take out.
State it, let's say, see if anybody, we're not back in session, so
I
state
had
it, let's amend
returned
it.
to regular.
Right.
All fireworks are banned of any type. Do I hear
I move that I amend my motion to include all fireworks instead of, take
just
that
aerial
little
rockets?
aerial rockets.
Instead of specified
Do I
fireworks.
hear a second?
Second.
All right, start from the right, Mr. Barty. Yes.
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 Okay, we got that amendment. All right, do I hear a motion to go back into session?
Make a motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of going back in session, say aye. Okay, we're back in session, the same silly, now we're gonna have to take a, we're gonna have to go,
Does that mean you can't shoot your pistol in there?
I think not.
I'm just teasing, chief.
Thank you.
All right,
You know, going up's not a problem.
item K, we've been asked to,
We'll take that out of order.
well, we gotta vote on
Did we make a motion to go back to regular session? We did,
it. We
didn't we?
did, we voted on it.
Okay.
All right, we,
Johnny did.
item K, executive session, discuss legal matters. Would you like to comment on that, before?
Can we give a brief description of the legal issue that we're discussing?
Yeah,
Will you do that?
oh,
Or you want me to do it?
either way, you can do it.
This relates to issues that have arisen about that project. And I believe the proposal is to go into executive session to discuss possible litigation
Right.
pertaining to that project. And it is my opinion that the exception for pending or threatened litigation under the Open Meetings Act applies to the plan discussion.
Okay. All right, did y'all get that? It's got to do with Rex Lake Road. She's gonna explain what the, issues are and the, and, some of the other. But, do I hear a motion to go into executive session for 5 minutes? Do I hear a second? All right, all those in favor of going into executive session, say aye. All right, 5 minutes. All in favor?
Motion that we return to, regular session.
Okay, let's see, Marty probably got that one. All right, all those in favor of return to session, say aye. All opposed, say no. All right, on, item, L, I would, like to entertain a motion. I would suggest that we, make a motion to, negotiate a tolling agreement or authorize our, legal counsel to take appropriate action in the matter as discussed. Or as presented. We didn't discuss it, you just presented the facts. And, okay. Do, Ross made a motion for that, do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, discussion.
Okay, this is gonna, we're gonna try to get some tolling done first, right?
Right.
Right.
Do all that before you go into anything.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, all right. All those in favor of, approving, our attorneys to negotiate a tolling agreement or take appropriate action in, the matters presented, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Okay, all right. Okey-dokey. Let's see, we'll do that. Okay, item, M, as you, know, there's some, things going on with, with Bass Pro, the bonds, the, Regions Bank, there's some issues with that. And, there may be some changes or some, items that have to be, reworked in the bond. And if they do, what this is authorizing a publication of a notice of amendment 772, for a public meeting. It doesn't approve anything. It doesn't, as far as, the actual, stipulations in an agreement, it doesn't change anything. All it does says is when it comes up, we'll be able to go ahead and advertise for a hearing on it, or, a public meeting, to discuss it. And that has to be done before, we can even enter into any of those stuff. And this is just to approve, me to publish a notice of a 772 hearing. And that's a hearing that has to do with anything to do with, taxpayers' money, any kind of, changes to do with anything, along those lines.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve resolution 2011-0610, authorizing setting a public meeting and publishing.
Authorizing, the authority to publish. It's written a little, isn't it written a little wrong?
It's authorizing the publishing and the set the date.
Setting a public meeting and
Go ahead.
publishing notice thereof.
Okay, go ahead.
That's
All
fine.
right, go ahead and say it again, I'm sorry.
Okay, resolution 2011-0610, a resolution authorizing setting a public meeting and publishing notice thereof.
All right, now here's a second.
Second.
All right, discussion. All right, all those in favor of resolution 2011-0610, say aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay. All right, back up to, N, 2011-06-09, dealing with employee handbook concerning credit cards and, the use and misuse of those credit cards.
If you look at the big packet, that's the whole handbook, where the resolution is on the top, flip the resolution over, that's just where it says 8.11, that's the policy we're adding to the handbook.
That's the only change.
The rest of everything stays the same except page numbers and section numbers moved around a little bit. This is the new policy on the city credit cards, and it specifies very clearly that it shall only be used for city business. Any personal use will result in immediate discipline, including termination. And it contains procedures about use of the credit card and providing invoices and receipts to substantiate charges and that type of thing. It just sort of sets some guidelines for these credit cards.
Okay. All right. Do I hear a motion on 2011-06-09?
Motion.
I hear a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of 2011-06-09 say aye. All those opposed say no. Okay, let's see. Also, I've just been informed that American Legion Post 107 has donated $500 for our baseball and softball park and the improvements we're doing over there. And I want to recognize them for that, and it's going to mean a lot to the community. We're getting a lot of people are coming to see it, and visiting Memorial Park, and I do appreciate what they've done there, and we've got a lot of people stepping up to help us, and I'm sure they all realize how important this will be for the city of Leeds. It's been a long time coming, and I want to thank the people from American Legion Post 107 for doing that, and thank them for all they do and their honorable service to this country. All right. Is anybody here from 107? Okay, sorry. Okay, let's see. Also, is anybody here from the Leeds Greenway football team? All right. Is anybody here from the Moton Alumni Association? No. All right. Well, I got one resolution to read. If y'all, we'll read the rest of them next time. As everybody knows, Representative Owen Drake has been very, very sick. He's been off in the hospital. He's got cancer. Our hopes and prayers are all with him. And the city council and I have written a resolution. He's not here, but I want to read it, and I'm going to try to. One of us will take it to the hospital and give it to him because we want him to have it. And I want to read the resolution to him. And I guess I really ought to stand up to read it. But this was done by Smith Pring. It looks very good. Signed by all the council. And it says, in recognition of Representative Owens Drake and his service to the citizens of Leeds. Whereas the city of Leeds recognizes the extensive hard work, personal sacrifice, good works, and community service that Representative Owen Drake has provided to the citizens of Leeds. And whereas Representative Drake has served the city not only as a member of the Alabama House of Representatives, but also as a city councilman for 6 years, 4 years as mayor pro tem. And whereas Representative Drake has also served his community in so many other capacities, such as director of the Leeds Chamber of Commerce, president of the Leeds Historical Society, as an honorable member of the United States Armed Forces, vice president of the Lions Club, as a member of the Leeds Rotary Club, and as a member of the Citizens Committee on Jefferson County's Personnel Board. And whereas the city of Leeds recognizes that his service to the community are invaluable and his achievements are extensive, and that he has exemplified the highest standards and good character in his public service as a model representative and as a citizen which we can all aspire to and look up to in our daily lives. And now, therefore, be it resolved in recognition of the effect and influence Representative Owen Drake has had on our community and our lives, and the integral part he represents to the citizens of Leeds, and the gratitude we all feel for his tireless public service, the Mayor and City Council of the City of Leeds, Alabama, do hereby recognize and salute Owen Drake and his service to our community. In witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands and caused the seal of the city of Leeds to be affixed this 20th day of June 2011. And we can't say enough for what Owen's done, and our hopes and prayers are with him. So hopefully we'll get that to him. I appreciate the council for, being behind that, helping me with that. Thank y'all. All right, is there any other comments from the council?
Yeah, I got a few things I just want to say, just throw my head.
Okay.
I want to try that, George. Is the walking track,
Long track is over.
I know it, but is it still the same mileage around there, or
I haven't measured it
do you
yet.
have any idea?
It's a little further.
Hey, somebody asked me that the other day, and then somebody asked me again, I said, I have no idea, I'm not gonna walk it, but,
It's like 150 feet further.
okay. And another thing too, I had a situation the other day, and this could be ratified real quick with the city. A woman came to my house, and she wanted to know look at my copy of the ordinance on, I forgot which ordinance it was, that the guy would, junk vehicle, that's what it was. And I said, well, I don't have one on me. She said, well, he told, one of the inspectors told him to go see the council member in her district. And I know back when we first came in office, we were gonna codify those things and put them on the internet where everybody could get a copy of them. Can we still do that?
Yeah, we still can.
I mean, I noticed we're putting the ones on there that were revised and some, but can we not get the others on there where you can just say, go to the,
Yeah, they don't know close.
and that would save everybody a lot of trouble. They wouldn't be calling y'all for it.
Have we ever got a grant back where they did codify?
What we've got is we've got about a banker's box for ordinance. We have to start from 97 and bring it forward. We've got to go back and research everything that's been passed from that time to present. We're just about there. Send it off to the codification company. They'll update the book to the standards released today. And once we have that, it'll all be web access.
What's really kind of hung us up is, we sort of had 3 or 4 changes in our attorneys in that period of time, and each time you changed, some of the records didn't kind of pass forward that well.
Well, this is not the first time it's happened.
Right.
I'm not gonna say, it was in the police department the other time. One of the policemen here told me to go to the county. And it was my own way back, I don't think that I should be keeping records in my house. I mean, I don't mind talking to you, but about a problem you have, but it's just, I don't have this stuff in my house available to me. We need to get it on file where everybody can have access to it.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Are we through with the junk car thing?
Oh, you're
Okay.
recognized.
Okay. The little Skype signs that were pulled up from several churches, I got calls at home about it, and once I explained about the rule, and when I say a Skype sign, that's like those little signs you have made like to campaign, those are Skype signs. Those are not allowed under the new zoning book. I don't think they were allowed in the old either. They just weren't in the right of ways. It was just never enforced.
Oh, it was enforced.
In the old days, before we took office.
I lost 100 campaign signs because of that.
Well, I know in the past, I know the churches have done it in the past.
Which little signs you talking about, the little small
It's
signs?
on the middle.
Yeah, and people stick them
Right
up.
away.
They're not supposed to be in the right of way. And so the problem is,
Nobody in my district.
yeah, the problem is, the only ones that are allowed are real estate signs, because obviously you're trying to sell your home, that's part of the business. And, 3 for yard sale, 2 directional, I think, and 1 in front of the house where you're actually having the sale. Those are the only things that are allowed. And, for 2 days. Yeah, they're not even in the right of way. So, we have discussed, amongst got churches to do it, which is obviously nonprofits, but you've got to understand, you got hundreds of clubs that are nonprofits. So if you open the door for nonprofits, then you don't just have 3 or 4 signs for your church. You got hundreds of signs all over town stuck out in people's edge of people.
Actresses and.
Yeah. Well, if they're, they gotta be, well, I'm saying nonprofit.
No, but I'm talking about that, you can't just.
I mean, yeah, but so, that's the problem, and we are aware that it's a problem. We're not against churches advertising their Bible school. They could have hung a banner on the side of the church for 2 weeks, that would have been legal, but these little plastic signs are not. And we're trying to consider ways to work so that we can allow the churches to advertise their Bible schools and still be abiding by the zoning ordinance. So, it's not against anybody's church or religion, it's just the way the zoning book is written, and it's very hard to make allowances because you open the door for being you got them all over town. That's all I wanted to say, because I did have some calls at home, and once I explained about the rules, people said calm down and understood.
You got anything? I actually had, somebody I told they could speak tonight. I didn't put them on the agenda. We'll allow them to speak after when we go into public comment. That's my mistake. They called and I said I would. But is there any, so, y'all ready to open up public comment? Yep. Okay. All right. Public comment. Step up, please. Just try to state your name and address and introduce you to keep it to a couple of minutes.
And I live in Olive Austin,
Okay.
and I just wondered if there's anything been said about us having a welcome to Leeds sign down by the interstate.
We've been working on that for 10 years.
Well,
Well,
we have this beautiful,
one, you can't have any monument sign if it's made out of brick or stone. Trust me, I had to take my mailbox down because it's on the state right away.
The problem is, not only is it a state highway, it has federal, right of ways. So the state limits you on where you can put that stuff. The federal, because there's an interstate highway there, limits you on where you can put it to. We would be so far off the road, you wouldn't even
we don't
see it.
even have nothing.
Well, you can't have anything.
There was one up and down there, is it not still there on the?
It's coming up because
But is it, I didn't know if it was still there or not.
I don't know if it's still there or not, but.
That's on private property too, and that's also, it's not that easy to see.
Well, do we not have anywhere we could put one? I mean, Moody's got one, right, as you come
Right,
into
but
there.
in Moody, when you go up through the, I've asked about that, if you go up through Moody, they came under an old right-of-way rule, and their right-of-way is only like 8 feet
But that's a
or
standard.
10 feet, but that doesn't matter. Because Highway 78, used to be the main highway going across the state, the Bankhead Highway to Atlanta, and there's a huge right-of-way down there, and they will not let us put in we have begged, talked to them. I mean, we would love to have something like that. There's just no way around it. I mean, we could have, the only thing we can have is a directional sign that says downtown Leeds that way. That's like a green metal sign. We cannot have any monument signs. We can't have anything like that. We've tried. We have tried. We could talk like one of the private landowners in there, let us put one in their property. And we actually did talk to one of them, and they wanted a lot of money.
I just hate that.
Oh, I do too,
We
because,
got- I mean, we got that big Bass Pro Shop, we got this nice shopping center, and people come out the interstate, you know, a lot of people don't know where Leeds is.
I understand, and we've been criticized for that, and it's very, unfair criticism, because we have tried to talk to the state about that, and asked over and over to, build something down there and say that, downtown, city of Leeds, put some stuff on it. They will not let us have it. By the time we got to where we, could have a sign, it was way back on Bass Pro property, that
You wouldn't see it.
You wouldn't even see it.
Maybe we need to rent a billboard.
Well, we could, I checked into that too, and that's anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600 a month.
Oh. Well,
discussed that at a meeting
Right.
about a billboard.
And they said, well, we'll give you a break, $1,200 a month. And, at the time, we didn't feel like it was a very good stewardship of the city's money to pay, what's that, $14,400 a year for a billboard? Which, you know, I'd love to have one. The city used to have a billboard there, but I'm pretty sure that when we did the Bass Pro deal, they got the land for the billboard.
Say, welcome to Leeds, USA.
And, so I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I can't say for certain, but it's not there anymore. I'll say that. Okay, anybody else? Thank you though, because I would like to have that myself. So would every council person does.
I'm Melissa Oval Wadsworth. My address is 815 Gary Allen Trail. I'm requesting that help from the city council with the school board, Leeds School Board. My daughter is an all-star cheerleader. As you know, at Leeds, you are not allowed to be an all-star cheerleader and actually cheer at the school. Moody allows it, St. Clair allows it, all other schools within Leeds, well, within Alabama allows it. So this year we decided, well, my daughter's also a majorette, that we would switch and we would be a majorette at the high school. It took weeks to get in touch with Mr. Wise at the high school. I was informed by Mr. Wise that we would not have majorettes because majorettes are a major pain in the butt. And that majorettes can hurt when we go to band competition. I had agreed that, you know, if we were allowed to participate, that we would not participate at band competitions. I did talk to Mr. Moore. He stood behind Mr. Wise, and I did ask who voted on the agenda, and Mr. Moore told me no, that the school board always agrees with him. And I kind of feel like, why do we have a school board if we don't ever get to be placed on the agenda? And I think that we're hurting females at Leeds by taking away scholarships. If you don't get a scholarship from a high school, that the girls cannot compete all-stars. Majorettes, you just lost that scholarship too, so.
Well, actually, if I can interject one thing, I talked to Mr. Moore today, and he said that, he would look into it, and he would be willing to try to work with you to see what they could do. I don't know, but, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and he was very, open to it. He actually called me about something else, we talked about it, and, he said that, they were gonna look into what they see, what they could do. So, I don't know.
I'll call him and talk to him also. I tried the other day and nobody answered his line, so.
But you understand, they're independent of the city council. They're appointed by the city council, but they're the independent body of the city. And I know, I've got children. I know how important it is for your scholarships for your children.
Well, I think if you put that much money into a sport outside of the school, your child should be able to participate within the school and help the school out, not be banned from the activity. And I don't understand why we have a school board then if we can't be on the agenda.
Don't feel bad, we can't, I mean, it's hard for anybody to get on the agenda. I'm just telling her, it's not her, that's their
Everyone has
policy.
said that.
That's
I just
their
don't
policy.
understand that.
Well,
That is their policy.
I don't want to speak for everybody up here, but I do think that everybody up here would be willing to at least mention it to their school board appointee and just talk to them about the issue with y'all. Y'all be willing to talk to y'all
Yeah.
and just discuss it and try to present what your issue is. I think your main issue is your daughter's all-star cheerleader, and there's a lot of availability for scholarships because of what they teach and things like
There's been
that.
69 scholarships in the last couple of years in our area, but not one from Leeds, and he actually was a high fly cheerleader with us. He was in the band at Leeds, but he got a full cheerleading scholarship.
Okay. But, I mean, all we can do is try to just have dialogue with them. You understand that? And maybe they can talk to them about you being able to present your case to them. Okay?
I mean, I think it would be good for the cheerleading and majorettes, there's other things too.
Where are the girls, where are the scholarships and everything? Where do they see the girls, in competitions?
They
and
come
stuff?
out, like I know High Fly, where we cheer, they had, about 30 scouts there last year. They had signing day, they had Alabama, Auburn,